Hey guys, so tonight we're going to be looking at the Swapmod kit for the A1 Mini. It consists of multiple parts. Some parts you print yourself, which the files are available online, and this kit that you must purchase direct from either Swapmod or I think 3D Jake has it as well. It's €70 for the kit. It contains a bunch of 3D printed parts, some instructions, and that's about it. The software itself is available online. It's a web link, and essentially what you're going to do is slice your file with your multiple plates, save it out as a G-code, open this other application on the web browser and load your G-code into it. It's going to convert it then, and that's what you're going to put back into Bamboo Studio or Orca, and that's what's going to create the file you need to print multiple plates. So along with the printed parts and the kit, you're going to need a Phillips screwdriver, 2mm Allen key, 2 cable ties. Well, these aren't essential, this is for an extra part. It's a bulldozing blade that goes on under your build plate to make sure you don't get any jams. Not essential, but I'm adding it when I'm at it. Some Loctite. The kit comes with super glue, but if you have Loctite, use it. The super glue is only to stop the nut from coming loose. So with that, we will start assembly. So once you've organized your parts and know where everything's supposed to go, you can begin the assembly, and it should be relatively straightforward. Probably not going to talk an awful lot through this, just going to get on with it and see how it goes. This is where your adjustment's going to be later on, so when you've this installed on the printer. If the magazine of print beds doesn't line up correctly with the base, you're going to be adjusting on these 2 screws to get it to fit correctly. So you can leave these a little bit loose for the time being. Most of these just snap together. There's 2 countersunk Allen key head screws that goes into the back here. These are just threading straight into the plastic. There's no countersunk brass inserts or anything like that. So don't over tighten them or you'll strip the plastic. So that's the majority of the back section, so we can leave that one side. Don't over tighten these because it's just threading straight into plastic and you will strip it. You also don't want it to be too tight that the cable can't adjust it. So that's pretty free. Just my slacking it back a slight little bit. Yeah, that's much better. You want to install this piece in here. And now we're going to fit this on the front of the printer. Before I forget, there's two little PTFE tubes that sit in here. And that's where the plates are going to be riding against instead of rubbing against the plastic. They just push in. Nice and simple. So we'll start on the machine now. So this is a brand new machine and the cable's a wee bit twisted. So when this has been installed, it's ideally supposed to be sitting that way. But in the instructional video, it said if you need to turn it an angle to keep the cable back, you can. So essentially you just slip it across the cable, push it in on the fitting on the end of this, and then rotate this around to lock it. And that's your cable protector installed. So next up you want to try and install this guy, and he sits on from underneath, so make sure your build plate is back to the last, and then you're going to install from underneath. So these two grooves here are going to fit this little dovetail, and in order to get this to fit in, you're going to need to flex this back. It's spring loaded, so align it with the grooves and push it up into position. So there's a 2mm Allen key bolt. It screws in from the back here and it just keeps this from unclipping. Nice and simple. So this cable sits into this slot on the side. Push it through, make sure the head of the bolt sits out through the side. Push it up. Slide the spring into position. Once it's in, pull the PTFE tube back and slide it back in there. And that should mean when this is operated, this should trigger this. We'll now install this piece on the front. It just aligns with the front of the printer. Push it into place and push it home and it'll lock, or it should lock. Like so. That's it locked in position. Now we want to do the same now on the back. Again, it's more of the same. Align it with the back of the printer, push it into position, and it should click once it's in place, like so. We want to get our PTFE tube with the fitting on it, slide it through the back of the machine, and out the other side. And it's going to be going up here and mounting on to the side of the printer, somewhere here. So I'm going to have a look at that now in a second to make sure it's in the right position. So that just literally clicks across the edge of that. And that's it locked in position. Now when this arm raises to the top, it's going to force this up, which is going to trigger this down at the bottom. So you're going to need to remove this off the side of the motor housing. It simply just pulls off like so. And you want to move it up to here and lock it in position, like so. So once we've all that done, it's time to move on to making our plates. So I have 4 brand new genuine plates here for the A1 Mini. These grippers that go on the front of the build plates are designed to fit on genuine ones, not spurious. So bear that in mind. So these build plates need these attached to the front of each of them, and it comes with enough screws to do 10. We're only doing 4 for tonight. So essentially you're going to get your Allen key. I think this is actually a 2.5mm Allen key, and you're going to put one bolt in here on the left hand side and tighten it up. Let's come to a line like so. You're going to put your small screw down into this, and your tiny little nut goes in the back of it. It's probably actually easier, focus on my hand, if you insert the nut into the back and then push it down with your Allen key to get to sit in position. So I've had to line this up off camera because it was too awkward. But anyway, once you have your nut in the hole and some Loctite on it, insert your screw from the opposite side and tighten it until it's tight. And then repeat that for each of the build plates that you have. And there's going to be one more screw put on each corner here on the bottom. And they're going to be the same as these short stubby Allen key bolts. That's one plate prepared. So do that for all the plates you have, and I'll cut back now when I have all these done. So 3 complete. This is on the 4th one now at the moment, and genuinely the hardest part of this whole swap so far has been getting those small screws into this plastic clip. These ones are fine, but it's getting the little screw and the nut to line up here on the front. It's just a pain. Anyway, they're done, so ready to test. Okay guys, back in the house now, and it's currently running through a test where it tries to swap the build plate 10 times one after the other to see that there's no issues. So initially I had 2 small issues. I forgot to remove this little support material in that plastic piece in there, and there's a plastic sticker that goes on the heat bed. Transparent, it's in the instructions but I didn't see it, and it goes across here at the front to make it easier to lift the plate off the bed. Once that was done, we started loading the build plates at the back, and I caught that it wasn't dropping them correctly, so I had to go back and adjust those 2 screws to get it to drop in the right location. But it seems to be dropping them consistently now. I have a container here underneath the bench to collect them. So hoping to get testing this now, maybe tomorrow, put on a few small prints. I might even do it tonight just to see how it goes. But so far it's working fine. So for 70 quid, it's seems to be money well spent, I suppose. Let's see how it goes. If anyone has any questions, drop them in the comments and I'll get back to them as soon as possible. Alright. Thanks for that.